Welcome to Ink2 Video. Every day we break down powerful books into simple stories and show you exactly how to apply them.
Varda is spending his 14th hour in the garage, refreshing his competitors' dashboards. He is trying to build a productivity app, and he is trying to make his version slightly faster and slightly cheaper than the 10 other apps currently dominating the market. He is exhausted. He is engaging in horizontal innovation. He is looking at a business model that already works, and he is trying to copy it. In economic terms, he is trying to take the world from 1 to n. Humans are biologically wired for this behavior through a mechanism called mimetic desire. When we see a group of people chasing a specific prize, we instinctively assume that prize is valuable, and we begin chasing it ourselves. This drive creates heavily congested markets. Dozens of coffee shops or software companies end up fighting over the exact same demographic, matching each other feature for feature, and slowly grinding their profit margins down to zero just to survive. We mistake this grueling daily fight for ambition, but battling over tiny fractions of a crowded market is a biological trap that destroys your creativity and your profits. If you look closely at Silicon Valley, a stark pattern emerges. A tiny fraction of startups capture nearly all of the wealth, while thousands of others burn through their funding and quietly disappear. In his book 0 to 1, investor Peter Thiel points out a harsh reality about these failures. The companies that die are actually all identical. They failed to escape competition. True progress requires vertical innovation. You ignore horizontal copycats, going from 0 to 1 to build something entirely new. The objective is a monopoly. Instead of fighting for 1% of a contested industry, you target a tiny niche, capturing 100% of it. Building a monopoly is not about defeating your rivals. It is about rendering them irrelevant by doing something they cannot possibly replicate. Varda stops writing code for his bloated mega app. He forces himself to step back and conduct a daily cognitive exercise to break his mimetic habits. He asks himself Thiel's contrarian question: what important truth do very few people agree with you on? Finding a clear answer to this question exposes a secret. It reveals a specific market reality or a user need that the mainstream industry has entirely overlooked. Varda uncovers his secret. Every app on the market assumes users want to be more productive, but burnt-out creatives desperately need an anti-productivity tool, software that actively forces them to do less. Instead of marketing this concept to millions of freelancers, he narrows his entire business plan down to exactly 100 professional oil painters. He aims to make this tiny, overlooked group love his product. To win their loyalty, his new app must pass the technology test. The software needs to be at least 10 times better at solving their specific burnout problem than any other tool they have access to. Escaping the trap of competition requires you to stop checking your rivals' feature lists and start investigating the secrets they are ignoring. The app hits the market and quickly captures all 100 oil painters. Because it serves their hyper-specific needs perfectly, Varda becomes their undisputed favorite brand. This chart shows the power law of startups in action. The flat lines at the bottom represent all of Varda's previous highly competitive attempts. That single upward curve shows how his one monopolistic, highly focused project generates more value than all of his past scattered efforts combined. His dominance is secured through network effects. As more painters join, they share resources and feedback, making the platform inherently more valuable for every user and mathematically locking out late-arriving copycats. But superior software does not distribute itself. Varda deliberately splits his schedule, dedicating 50% of his time to building the product and 50% to the direct sales required to reach those initial artists. A lasting monopoly is built on a hidden truth, locked in place by network effects and kept alive through relentless targeted distribution. Varda is no longer an exhausted developer fighting over scraps. He holds the quiet authority of a founder operating entirely outside the rat race. He shed his indeterministic worldview, the passive belief that building a business is like buying a lottery ticket, where success relies on unpredictable luck. He replaced it with a deterministic worldview. Successful founders treat the future as a tangible structure. It is something they actively design and build themselves. What is one thing you believe about your industry that everyone else seems to think is wrong? If you built a project based purely on that crazy belief, what would it look like? Copying what already works is a game for the uninspired. The future belongs to those bold enough.
Subscribe to the channel and comment on which point you would like to implement in your life and which book we should read next.